You know what a trophy truck looks like ripping across the desert? In this episode of Hot Rod Unlimited, we're going to find out what happens when you put one on the pavement.
My name's Cameron Steele. I'm from San Clemente, California. I've been driving these off-road beasts for about 20 years.
Cameron Steele's trophy truck might look a bit foreign to you streetcar guys, but it was scratch built to blast across the harsh desert terrain at over 100 miles an hour. Cameron's Desert Assassin racing team was cool enough to bring the trophy truck into our studio, blow the body off of it, and show us exactly what makes this thing tick.
The off-road beast is the Uber truck. It's a trophy truck. For us, it's the number 16. It's a hand-built, purpose-built vehicle to go through the deserts of Baja, Nevada, Arizona, and California as fast as possible through the biggest bumps. It has over 30 inches of wheel travel, 800 horsepower, and it'll do about 140 miles an hour. 100 miles of that straight through whoops 3 feet deep, no problem. The power plant's a small block Chevy. It's 442 cubic inches. It's about 806 on the engine dyno, and I'll tell you, it's full of torque. The guys at Dugan's Racing Engines have done a great job. You know, we like a little bit more bite on the bottom so we can come out grunting and fight them coming out of the turn, not necessarily just at the top end.
The backbone of the trophy truck is 600 feet of chromoly tubing that's been carefully TIG welded by Geyser Brothers. All of the suspension parts and pivot points are made out of sheet metal, most of which have holes put in them to save weight. It's the ultimate way to build a strong and functional suspension capable of keeping this truck together no matter what it runs into in the desert. Racing the trophy truck is a two-man job. The driver is responsible for piloting the truck, but the co-pilot is there to monitor the GPS systems, the engine's vital signs, and flip those 800 switches that are sitting there on the center console. We've crawled inside and out of the trophy truck, checking out all of the amazing fabrication work, and now we're going to head out to Famoso Raceway in Bakersfield, California to see how quick this thing can go down a drag strip.
Because to be honest, I've never been on a drag strip before. It's kind of silly, it's got 40-inch tires, and it's not built to take off and go, but you know, overall I think it's pretty cool because you get to see a different application of how the truck will work, and you know, when you're a car guy, when you're into cars, you're stoked to do it in all these different areas.
How fast is a trophy truck in the quarter mile? I just found out the hard way. Cameron Steele smoked me. He went 1320 at 103 in his truck. I only managed a 1595 at 90 miles an hour in a brand new Raptor. For comparison's sake, we drove a 2012 Ford Mustang Boss 302 down the same drag strip on the same day, and with 444 horsepower and 4,000 pounds of curb weight, it ran a 1295 in the same weather conditions, making the trophy truck seriously fast for how heavy it is. We're done here. Now we're headed to Willow Springs to see how Cameron does around some corners. We know Cameron can drive in a straight line, but let's see how he does around the corners of Willow Springs Raceway against a Ford Raptor SVT and a Boss 302 Mustang. Cameron's a hell of a driver. He was able to take that 6,000-pound trophy truck and rip it around 9 corners of Willow Springs Raceway, going only 5 seconds slower than we went in that Boss 302 Ford. That Mustang's designed for corners. The trophy truck's designed to go through 3-foot deep holes in Baja. It shouldn't be that quick, but it is. And the trophy truck left the Raptor in the dust at Willow Springs, just like it did at the drag strip.
Inside the trophy truck, you're kind of setting up, you're wedging through the turn, and you're drifting, and then the corners where they drop away, it's like the truck wants to just let it go. We didn't change anything on the truck. It actually came directly from the Vegas to Reno finish line, where we drove 534 race miles to a top 6 finish. So this is how it finished, other than we washed the dirt off of it.
What did we learn in this whole exercise? We learned that the trophy truck is the pinnacle of fabrication. A vehicle built to go anywhere, anytime, over anything. 90% of the fab work in this truck is overkill for almost everything we do in the hot rod world, but it's still interesting to see how guys in other forms of motorsports build their rides.
I don't know if I've really learned anything other than how to cheat the Christmas tree at the drag strip a little bit. We actually drive our race trucks on pavement in Baja quite a bit. A lot of people don't really realize that, but when you race the entire Baja Peninsula, we have to drive about 140 miles of pavement. So you get the feeling of how the truck's gonna work and how it's gonna stick on the pavement, even though we're at a safe speed at 60 miles an hour. But it's cool to get out and break it loose on the pavement because we really don't get that chance. So the only thing maybe I learned is I gotta watch dragging the brakes a little bit and trail braking because it heats up the rear end.